Title: Restream. The final level. Restream, whose real name was Ryan Torres, was the kind of gamer who lived and breathed video games. By day, he was a college student barely scraping by, juggling assignments, part-time work, and a growing passion for streaming. By night, he was a gaming sensation, known to his thousands of followers as Restream, the guy who could conquer any game with an easygoing smile and lightning-fast reflexes. Ryan wasn't just another streamer. He had a knack for making even the most frustrating games seem fun. His humor was infectious, his commentary sharp, and his skill unmatched. But what really set him apart was his love for the grind. Restream had no problem playing the same level over and over, refining his techniques, finding hidden secrets, and sharing those moments with his audience. For Ryan, streaming wasn't just a hobby, it was an escape. A way to leave behind the pressures of school, the stress of an uncertain future, and the loneliness that often came with it. On his stream, he was Restream, and he had control. One night, after finishing a grueling study session for finals, Ryan decided to start an impromptu stream. He didn't have a specific game in mind, but he needed to unwind. His chat was already buzzing as soon as he went live, the familiar usernames popping up with excited messages. "Hey, everyone," Ryan greeted, leaning into his microphone. "I know it's late, but I needed a break from all this studying. So, let's find something to play." He scrolled through his game library, chatting with his viewers about what to play next. Then, something caught his eye. A new game had appeared in his list, one he didn't remember downloading. The title was simple: The Final Level. Ryan frowned. "Huh, that's weird. I don't remember buying this one. Anyone know anything about it?" His chat was just as confused. No one had heard of it, but curiosity got the better of them. Messages flew by, urging him to check it out. "All right, let's see what this is all about," Ryan said, clicking on the game's icon. Might be a hidden gem. As soon as the game launched, the screen went black. For a moment, Ryan thought his system had crashed, but then a message appeared in white text: "Welcome, Restream. Are you ready to play?" Ryan chuckled nervously. "Okay, that's a little creepy. But hey, I'm always ready to play." He clicked yes, and the game world materialized around him. The graphics were stunning, far beyond anything he'd seen before. It was a hyper-realistic environment that looked like a cross between a futuristic city and a dystopian wasteland. The level of detail was incredible, down to the smallest textures on the walls and the way the light flickered in the distance. But there was something unsettling about it, too. The world felt off, as if it were watching him, waiting for him to make a move. His chat was buzzing with comments about how cool the game looked, but a few messages stood out, asking if anyone else felt uneasy. "Yeah, this is a little too realistic, isn't it?" Ryan said, trying to keep the mood light. "But let's see what it's got." As he began to explore, the game presented him with challenges, puzzles to solve, enemies to defeat, and platforms to navigate. At first, it felt like any other game, though with an eerie atmosphere that made him feel like he was being followed. But then, the game started to mess with him. The first sign was subtle. As he completed a difficult challenge, a notification popped up: "Achievement unlocked, Restream's Grind." It was an odd achievement name, but Ryan shrugged it off. Maybe the game had some kind of advanced AI that was tracking his playstyle. He kept going, but the further he progressed, the more personal the game became. At one point, he entered a room that looked exactly like his real-life apartment, down to the cluttered desk and half-empty coffee cup next to his keyboard. "Wait, what?" Ryan muttered, his heart skipping a beat. "How does it know what my place looks like?" His chat exploded with comments. Some viewers were freaking out, while others thought it was some kind of clever game design. Ryan tried to laugh it off, but a creeping sense of dread settled over him. "Alright, this is getting too weird," he said. "Let's see if we can find an exit." But as he moved through the levels, things only got stranger. The game started addressing him directly, not as Restream, but as Ryan. His in-game avatar would freeze, staring at the screen, and the text would appear, "Ryan, do you think you can win?" His heart raced. This wasn't just a game anymore. It was something else, something that knew him far too well. "I'm done," Ryan said, his voice shaking. He tried to exit the game, but the option wasn't there. His keyboard and mouse were unresponsive, and the power button on his computer wasn't working either. He was trapped. "Guys, I can't get out," he said to his chat, trying to stay calm. "I'm going to have to restart my system manually." But before he could reach for the power cord, another message appeared on the screen: "You can't leave until you finish." Suddenly, the game's world shifted. The once empty streets were now filled with shadowy figures, all of them watching Ryan's avatar. They didn't move, didn't attack, they just stared. And then, one by one, they began to chant his name. "Ryan! Ryan! Ryan!" It was too much. Ryan yanked the power cord from his PC, plunging his apartment into darkness. For a moment, there was silence. He breathed heavily, trying to steady himself, convinced that it was all over. But then, the screen of his monitor flickered back on, powered by something other than his disconnected PC. The game was still running, the shadowy figures now standing right in front of his avatar. "You can't escape, Ryan. This is the final level." Ryan's scream echoed through his apartment, but there was no one to hear it. His stream had long since gone offline, leaving only an empty channel and a blank chat. The game continued, and somewhere in that digital world, Ryan, Restream, kept playing, trapped in a game that no one else could see, a game that knew him better than he knew himself. Days passed, then weeks. Ryan's followers began to worry as his channel remained silent, with no updates and no sign of him returning. Rumors spread across the internet about the mysterious disappearance of the famous streamer, but no one could find any trace of him. His apartment was found empty, his computer still unplugged, and the game, the final level, was nowhere to be found. Some say that if you search for it in the dark corners of the web, you might find a glimpse of Restream's final moments. But be warned, those who try to play the final level are never seen again. The game doesn't just play you. It takes you.